Kimber Solo 8-round mag. It's my fiance's gun. Had a lot of problems with this. We got some standard ammo in it, 24 grain, 124 grain. And it's like a damn single shot. I ain't too good. We loaded up Federal 147 grain HST. Jam a Matic, folks. Kimber Solo. Holy shit, kicks like a mule. That's it. 124 grain Winchester. Alright guys, we're down here at our makeshift range, firing the Kimber Solo. This Remington UMC 147 grain did not have any problems. 147 grain, and we had a few hang-ups here with the Winchester 124 grain NATO. We're going to take a few more shots of that and load it up and see. I mean, one thing you notice about the Kimber Solo, the springs are very stiff. It kicks a lot. Much more than a Kahr PM9 or a Glock 26 or a XDS 9, or I think this Kimber Solo kicks more than even like the Smith & Wesson Shield in 40 caliber. So the mags are hard to load. If you can't tell, guys, I'm really not a fan of the Kimber Solo so far. Solo. Huh. Boy, she likes 147 grain. Right. Runs like a champ. Remington UMC 147 grain round nose out of the Kimber Solo. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Kimber Solo and doing a little bit of comparison to other popular single stack 9mm pistols, okay, and just kind of see where it falls. We've been shooting it. This is my fiance's firearm. We've had it for quite some time. To be quite honest, it hasn't been reliable at all. It hasn't been carried, and we've just been trying to run more ammo through it before we send it back to Kimber and get it looked at. So we've got the Kimber Solo, and all these guns on the table are unloaded and safety checked. We've got the Kimber Solo and the Kahr PM9 and the Smith & Wesson Shield. Now this one is in 40 caliber, but they offer it in 9mm as well. So this gun is a little gem. I mean, it's the only one on the table. It's got an alloy frame. Works similar to a 1911, kind of, with the controls, but it is striker fired. Just like all the firearms on the table, they're all striker fired. Let's just line these up real quick. Okay, and compare it. Now this is the PM9. Now, you know, the PM9 was probably one of the first firearms in this realm of guns. This is about as small as you want to go and still have a shootable gun. And some people say that the polymer frame soaks up more of the recoil than an alloy frame, and that might be true, because this thing, this Kimber Solo, boy, it transfers a lot of recoil into your hand, where the PM9 does not. So let's just line these up here, and let's take a look at the difference in the height. Okay, let's stick some magazines in here, just so we can see what they look like. But boy, I mean, especially back here on the butt, there's not much difference, but there is, especially when you're counting the magazine. I mean, there is a little difference in height. Now in length, you know, there's not much, probably 1/8 of an inch or so. Okay, there's just not much difference there. Your trigger guard is a little different shape on these two firearms. A little more undercut here on the Kimber Solo, but the grip, I mean, it's a very well made gun. Okay, it is, and there's some things I don't like about this Kahr that are better on this gun, but it is so stiff. I mean, you really, I mean, you can't hardly get the magazine out. It tries to hit on your right there. So I mean, it's just a very small gun. And working the slide, we've got about 250 rounds through this thing, and it's been a jam-o-matic. But it's starting to get better. And, you know, I don't like break-in periods; they just piss me off. So, but that's fairly difficult to rack for me. Now, for my fiance, it's even harder to do it. It can barely be done. Now, this here, this is just a little easier, you know, PM9. So we just took a look at this Kimber Solo compared to the PM9. Let's take a look to the shield. Now this is a Shield 40, but it is the exact same size as the 9mm. So you can see here with the both sitting down on their slides, you've got a significant difference in the grip length. This shield is pretty much the same size as a Glock 19, almost exactly back in this area here. And definitely the shield is longer in the slide. Okay. So let's get the weights of these guns really fast. And this is what's pretty interesting here. So pounds and ounces, we've got the Solo comes in at 15.5, okay? And you've got your PM9, it's 15.8. So 3/8 of an ounce lighter. Essentially it's a wash, but yet this gun has less felt recoil. I just want to point that out. And they both hold 6 rounds. Now, your shield is 1 pound 2 1/8, so about 3 ounces heavier on the shield, but in the 9mm configuration you gain 1 more round, so it'll hold 7 in a flush fitting magazine. And yeah, okay. And so we said magazine capacity on the Solo 6 rounds. Now these are a very high quality magazine, say Kimber 9mm, and have it numbered. Very nice. They have an optional 8-round magazine. Still very nice. It gives you quite a bit better grip on the gun. I mean, it gives you a full-size grip in this small gun. works pretty good for the range. You shouldn't really use your pinky though to control the gun, but it does, you know, fit your hand quite nice. One thing about the Solo, guys, it's very difficult to take apart and reassemble. We had some function issues where the slide was hanging back after every shot. Thought it was an ammo problem, an ejection problem. Turns out there's a little spring here that you got to get put back together perfectly. It's in the this is pretty much like a Kahr PM9, kind of, where you pull this out and then you pull the trigger, the slide comes off. Now this is dirty. We have been shooting it. Boy, look at that. But you got full-length rails on this gun. I'm not going to take it all the way down right now. It's an uncaptured recoil spring as well, which I don't really like. Slide this thing back together now. There's something tricky I forgot on the barrel. But there's a little spring. I don't know if you can see that right there. And you have to make sure you get this latch underneath that spring. And it's very difficult to do. And to me, I mean, I can barely see that spring, and I don't know how you'd ever take this gun and put it back together and be comfortable in it and making sure you get that spring without test firing it. And then you test fire it and it's dirty and you start the whole process over again. Yeah, very difficult to put back together, but you got to watch that spring or you're for sure going to have failures with this firearm. To me, I rate the single stack 9s in a couple different categories, okay? You've got your Solo and your PM9, maybe your Diamondback DB9. There's a few others that are in this really small category. The Glock 43 is probably pushing it to be a pocket gun. This is the PM9 leather holster. This gun can be carried in the pocket, in jeans, very easily. So can this gun. When you get talking about the shield though, and that extra grip length and slide length, kind of puts it in a different category. It's very easy to carry on the belt, inside or outside the waistband. It's very slim and lightweight, and it fills that role perfect. We've been testing this thing. We've ran 115 plus P, 124 plus P, round nose, hollow points, flat nose. The main thing it likes is a really, really hot 124 grain, or preferably a hot 147 grain. Specifically Remington UMC 147 flat nose. It runs that fine. It also runs 147 plus T, 147 plus P Federal HSTs. The fairly new law enforcement round works flawlessly. As we get more rounds, we'll see how it goes. Right now, I don't know if we're going to send it back to Kimber or not. I will say this thing has shot the grips loose. You can see this movement right here in the grip screw. I mean, recoil is just insane on this. This is just my opinion. I would purchase a PM9 or something else, just from a reliability and felt recoil standpoint.
Okay, so this is the Kimber Solo from a woman's point of view. So this is my gun. I wanted something I could carry. I had a Taurus TCP, I still do. That thing's a piece of crap. I wanted something a lot better. After going to gun shows and feeling a bunch of guns, I decided to go with this one. It feels amazing when you sit here and hold this. My hands fit perfectly in it. This is unloaded. The big thing is it's hard to open. Especially if I haven't tried opening it all day. I've been opening it for a while today. If I go for the first time to open it, it probably takes about 2 minutes for me to figure out how to finally get it open. it does not like to open. One thing I do like about it is it does have a safety. It's an ambidextrous safety. I wanted something that had a safety on it just because that's what I'm into right now, just personally. Not something everybody likes, but it's something I wanted. Other than that, I do love the feel of this gun. I wish it would shoot better. I'm not carrying it currently because it's not reliable enough for me. So we're trying to get it more reliable, shooting more shots through it. Hasn't quite got there yet. I disagree with what he said before about taking it apart. I think it's really easy to take apart. He was trying to pull from over here. I push this button, it works so much easier. Putting it together is a different story. The recoil spring is a big deal you have to get to. So, but for me personally, if we can get this gun to shoot, I love this gun. I would keep it and carry it every day, but it doesn't shoot. So until we can do that, it just sits and collects dust.
This is the EverdayMan Review, and I want to thank you for watching these videos. And please leave your comments below, hit the thumbs up, and subscribe to videos, and leave your comments below. And that will just help me know if you like the videos, and maybe we can do more comparisons and get the information that you need before you spend your hard-earned money. Again, this is the EverdayMan Review, signing out.